And we all know how much harder it is to go to the grocery store, and it will get even harder. The younger generation will be discouraged from continuing the legacy of their family as it becomes more and more difficult to make a living just on the farm. We need to protect our local, longtime residents, especially farmers, from the values that are spiking higher, mainly because of people who are moving in and are paying extreme prices for the land, non-locals moving here, and then everyone looks at those prices that they are paying, which they think they're getting a really good deal. Those prices that they are paying ends up affecting those of us who are either trying to create a buffer zone around our farms or who are renting land. It ends up going into a lot of houses. Dirt isn't made anymore. And when it's gone, it's gone. And I know that it can be tempting as you sit here and make decisions, not necessarily tonight, but for the next year, that you look at other counties that I've been watching closely, that are close to us, that have had absolutely no problem in jacking up their property tax rates. And some of them have been unanimous. And I also have friends in those counties that are extremely worried about how they're going to pay their land taxes come the 28th of February next year. It's not just a job to us, it's our passion, and if you're going to do it for multiple generations, as most farmers in this county have done, we're not an oddity. We're normal for a farmer in this county. And I think that you need to take a long, hard look. We can't compete with what some people are doing in the county. And our business is, I think, just as important as a plant moving in here or somebody downtown. We're an integral part of the dynamics of your economy, of our economy for this county. And after what this county has been through, there's not a person in this county that was not affected by Helene. By the grace of God, we were far enough away from the rivers that we weren't affected. Our milk hauling was affected for a while. They had to make extreme changes to get our milk picked up, but they did. And not one person has not been affected in this county because we were all touched in some way or another, whether we flooded or not. And I really think, as someone told me that's kind of got a good pulse on it, they said it would be political suicide for a county commission in this county to approve a higher tax rate anytime in the near future because of what this county's gone through. And it's very hard on the residents to make ends meet right now. We're not a super rich county, and our people are suffering, and our economy is suffering, I know. But I really hope that you will take into account what is going on locally with your citizens that you represent and the struggles that we encounter. I don't get to set a new rate for the milk that I sell. We take what we get, and we have to be happy with it. And our milk's already gone before we get paid for it. It's been gone 2 weeks. So you take what you get. I'm not making excuses for us. I'm just saying you learn how to budget, and you budget tight. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we have one more signed up to speak, Ms. Macy Reed.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I sent a request to be on the agenda tonight, but I think I sent that to the wrong person, so I apologize that I'm speaking to you in this manner. But thank you all either way for allowing me the opportunity to speak. The Budget Committee has voted to bring forth a budget to you all this evening for approval that will cut my budget by $16,000 due to the creation of the floodplain administrator position. My budget is based solely on property assessor obligations. None of my budget has been, there's nothing in my budget allocated for floodplain administration, and there never has been. Cutting my budget by $16,000 is not cutting something from a floodplain administration line, it is cutting something from the property assessor's budget, which again is obligations that I'm constitutionally elected to do. I've attended meetings for 10 years out of respect for the commissioners, so that I could understand the operations of the county, the operations of the budget committee. I didn't want to be the kid that ever came to you with a request only when I wanted something. So I've attended those meetings, I've learned the ins and outs that I could learn, and I just feel like it is a financially irresponsible decision to cut the property assessor budget for a floodplain administrator position. Now, I realize that I've served that role previously, my predecessors served that role, but that role is a voluntary position. So each of you are here on a very small salary. If I came to you at your regular job and told you, after you decided to not do a voluntary position, and told you that I was going to cut your regular job's budget by $16,000 because you decided not to volunteer in a position any longer, what would you say? I would like you to keep that in mind tonight when you vote on this budget. I don't know what's been prepared for you as a secondary option, if anything. I will tell you that I requested a secondary option be presented tonight so that a mixed vote would not cause a delay in the budget process. I realize that the state has provided us a certified rate, and I realize that your all's goal to not increase that rate, and I applaud you for that. I feel I've been financially responsible in my role as assessor. In 2023, I used the extra funds in my budget to bring in GIS, Geographic Information Services to the county. This brought us forward a decade. We were still paper mapping prior to that. In 2024, I hired and trained 2 new tedious field representatives. Those field reps were able to add what I previously thought, and y'all are probably sick of hearing me say, over $840,000 to the tax revenue for the county. I was wrong on that math. CTAS came and visited me the other day to correct me and told me it's actually over $1,065,000. I also cut my budget in 2024 willingly to allow the county to not suffer from a tax increase. In 2025, we've already added over $300,000 in revenue for the county with the field work that's been done. That is calculated at the new 1.4993 certified rate. It's my understanding from the last budget meeting that I attended that it's your all's goal to have a fund balance somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000, and I understand that and I appreciate that, especially after the disaster that we just faced. It's also my understanding that we're currently sitting around $385,000. I would like to ask you to adjust that by $16,000 and not take this out of my property assessor's budget that is already very small. I also want to take a few minutes, just a second of your time for something that's completely irrelevant to my budget and tell you or bring your all's attention to the fact that we're going to lose an employee that's been here for 25 years, Miss Stephanie out of the UT Ag Extension. If something is not adjusted in this budget, the big beautiful bill will cut the funding for her position September 1. Sarah ordered a presentation to the budget committee at the last meeting that was very well made, very well written, with all the details showing the things that she's done for the county over the last 25 years. And I'd like you to reconsider on that matter as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We have about 3 minutes left for the public comments. That's everyone that signed up. Is there anyone else like to speak concerning the budget in public tonight? Seeing or hearing none, we'll close the public comments and we'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock.
All rise. Cocke County Legislative Body now in session. Chairman Norman Smith presiding, Mayor Rob Mathis president.
Mr. Vice, release the prayer, please.
Great Heavenly Father, thank you again for another beautiful day, and thank you for each one that's here. Father, you tell us in the Word that we're going to have challenges in our life. You're right about everything you say, and this has been a challenge. We just pray that, Father, that everything that we've done, that we've written down and investigated and looked at is pleasing to you. You're the only one that we need to please, and we need to do it from our hearts and do it with honesty and integrity. And we thank you for it, Father. Please be with us all. Be with our community. It's a great place to live that you've given us. In Jesus' precious name I pray. Amen.
Mr. Bird, please, the pledge, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll call meeting order, and the first thing on the agenda is roll call, please.
Andy Ford.
Here.
Bill Miller.
Here.
Gayla Blazer. Here. Jason McMahon.
Here.
Norman Smith.
Here.
Tracy Stepp.
Here.
Jonathan Templin.
Here.
Jeff Esslinger.
Here.
Dan Bright.
Here.
Wilma Ball. Rick Vassar.
Yes.
David Verdahl.
Here.
Tim Lehman.
Here.
Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, number two, in the matter of comments from the county mayor.
Very briefly, I just want to thank the members of the Budget Committee. A lot of hard work, a lot of very difficult choices were made in this. But I am very proud to say that through their hard work on that committee, that we have been able to present a balanced budget to the county, which does not raise taxes, has a tax rate below law of $1.50. And that was our number one mission, was not to raise taxes, especially this year immediately after the floods, for our citizens. And I want to talk about one other point. One of the major reasons why we did not have to raise taxes, in spite of the approximately $2 million in excess costs having to do with the annex being out of operation, being destroyed by the floods. Again, that's costing $2 million above and beyond normal operating costs. But we were able to get that paid for without putting that burden on the property tax owners through asking the governor's office, the governor himself, to waive the matching funds for these American Rescue Plan, ARPA grants. They have to be spent by September anyway. So that's $2 million, a little over $2 million in matching funds. We're able to put that directly towards those expenses, which means that the people do not have to carry that burden. And so we are looking towards ways to fund that until we get a jail, until that jail is built. I gave you all the update at the last CLB meeting, the detailed briefing on that. So we're going to try to get that jail built as quickly as possible to standard. But in the meanwhile, we're looking for ways to continue to fund that overage of expenses that it's costing us without having to put that on the taxpayers. But ladies and gentlemen of the CLB, I do present you this draft of the next year's fiscal budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, in the matter of comments from the finance director.
I just want to thank the budget committee. I know it's a lot of work, it's a lot of days and nights that we spend in meetings going over the budget, and so this is a very hard committee to be on. I really commend you for being on that committee. Also, I just want to echo that to the mayor's point, we are at our certified tax rate of $1.49, 0.93, and that does keep us level, so there is no tax increase.
What was the tax rate last?
2.56.
2.56.
Yes, so it's come down over $1.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
So,
I'd like to thank Heather, because she goes above and beyond in this whole process. And we bombard her with questions, and she always has the answers. And she's a blessing to work with. She really is. I've been on the budget committee for many years now, and she's an asset for the county, she is.
any other comments? Any questions for Heather? If not, this time, in number 4 is the matter of approving the proposed budget for 2025, 2026. Motion. You'll need to read,
Yeah, it's better if you read down that
yeah,
sheet of paper.
do you have the paper from the finance department?
It's long and pretty.
Well, hold on a minute. Well, he's not made the whole motion yet. He needs to read the motion. Who's gonna make the motion? Mr. Vasser? Change that to Mr. Vasser, please. Go ahead.
We recommend the approval of the July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 budget, including all, what is that?
Appropriations.
Resolutions and capital outlay funding, and waive the reading of the resolutions for the general fund, solid waste and sanitation fund, industrial and economic development fund, opioid fund, drug control fund, sports and recreation fund, other special revenue, ARPA, highway and public works fund, general purpose school fund, central cafeteria fund, school transportation fund, general debt service fund, general capital projects fund, school federal projects.
Do we have a second? Mr. Esslager, any questions or discussion?
I got a question.
Okay, Mr. Ford first.
So as I look through the budget, I'm going through every department, I'm looking at last year's expenditures, and almost 98% has gone up across the board. And it bothers, honestly, it bothers me a little. I mean, at least 3%, maybe more on everybody, even every department and everything under the department has gone up. Almost all of it, some of it not. But with what's happened to the people of this county, and I don't know why, government is a beast that can't be tamed, I guess, but I don't know why that we have to, like, everybody's budget, why can't we just stay what they were last year? And I don't know, they say there's no new taxes, but everybody's expenditure's gone up, so where's that money coming from?
I know one expense that we can't control that does increase everybody's budget is insurance. Everybody's got personnel entitled to insurance that is paid by the county. We can't control if the insurance company goes up 2, 3, 4, 5% on us every year. So I know that's one big expense that would hit every department.
I get that, but where is since it's gone up across the board, pretty much everybody's department, where is that money that extra money it's costing? I don't know what the total is, but where is that coming from?
Some of it has to do with the money that the mayor was talking about. We were able to overcome some of the increase in expenses due to grant funding that we were able to not have to do matches on because we were forgiven for matches because of Hurricane Helene.
We also had an increase in sales tax revenue.
Yeah, we've had different increases in sales tax revenue, hotel motel tax over the years that we've been able to help offset increases in expenses.
As our economy is growing, those revenues, those voluntary taxes such as sales tax, hotel, motel, because our county economy is healthy and growing, it's offsetting some of those increases that would normally have to be taken up by property taxes.
One increase in departments I even got a question about, called about this week and helping understand. Our state legislator has passed a law that these elected officials get raises every year. That's state law. And so that's an increase on every department's budget, automatic, that we have absolutely no control over.
Yeah, the state sets that.
State sets it, yes.
And we can't do anything to but the county's on the hook for it.
Absolutely, yep. Are you good? Can I go to Mr.?
Go ahead.
No, if you
No,
got,
I'm good.
okay,
I
Mr.
just
Lane.
got a question about, what that makes the budget, you know. Did she,
get that 16,000 on down the years, or did Dummer get it? Has it ever been paid to her?
I'm not sure what your question.
What they wanting to cut her budget?
Oh,
All right, why they cutting it if she's never received it? That's what, I might be wrong in all this, I'm just questioning.
I think what you're saying is there was no, well, there was no line item for a floodplain administrator. Is that what you're saying?
Right. All
So,
right, so when Denver decided to take it on, right?
Yeah.
Denver wants to know, or the county didn't pay him nothing to do that, did it? Extra,
not that I'm aware of.
okay? So they've not given her any money over the years, so why you take it from her? What I learned.
Any other questions, comments? Sir?
No, I have to agree with Tim. I mean, I don't think it's right that they took it. I mean, her office does. I mean, what she has, her computer programs, her employees and stuff is needed, which generally come around, it's funding for the county, property taxes, you know. So, you know, you may not think 16,000 is that much, but it can make, in her department could be a big chunk. Yeah, so.
Okay,
No, it's all right.
Mr. McMahon, you had your hand up first.
So the 16,000 that left the property assessor's office, where did that go?
That'd be part of your fund balance.
Be part of the fund balance, yes, to offset the extra expenditure, the 40,000, bring that job into, that position into the mayor's office.
Yes.
Okay. We just had a discussion about the heads of departments, and it was mandated by the state of Tennessee that we pay them that much, right? So why are we taking $16,000 out of Macy's budget when she's not mandated to do that? It's not in her job description that she does floodplain administrator, and her job is mandated by the state what she needs to do. But we have evidently just added it in there, and they did it voluntary. So that's not mandated by the state of Tennessee, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so why are we trying to make her do something in her job that's not mandated, and we don't take it out of that office in the first place? From what I understand, when we had somebody here at one time talked about that being really close to a full-time job if it's done correctly. Tina was here, and they did talk about it being a full-time job. So how can we give her another full-time job on something that's not even mandated by the state? And here we just had a whole discussion that we gotta follow the state. So, you know, because we can't take money away from these other people. So why are we treating her different if we're gonna give her something that's not mandated by the state for her to do?
Well, we're not
You see.
getting, there's nobody giving her anything.
That was volunteer, I know.
Well, that position has been moved to the mayor's.
But we're taking that money away from her, which was
Okay.
never,
You're
out of her
right.
budget, out of her budget.
Yeah, right. So we're on the same page. I was,
No, we're taking the
Yeah.
money out of the budget, but she voluntarily took that and we placed it in there, and it's not mandated by the state for her to do it. And when we just had a whole conversation, we gotta follow what the state says when we're paying all the other heads. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of to me, well, let's follow what the state says here, but we're not gonna do it here. So that's all I have to say about that. We need to think about what we're doing.
I'm sorry, I have my head down. Either one of us, whichever one wants to go first.
I'd like to know if the property assessor's budget has ever been supplemented for doing the floodplain administrator position.
Not that I'm aware of.
So why are we punishing her for not doing it?
That's what I said.
That's what I was fixing to say, so he stole the thunder.
Mr. Step?
Can we not figure out, can we not make an amendment somewhere somehow to find $16,000? I mean, is that just impossible? Have we come to that conclusion?
Heather, did you make another budget with that in it?
Hold on. Ms. Ball had her, well, let me answer your question. We have a motion and a second to approve this budget. If this budget fails, you can make any amendment you want to the budget. Okay? All right? After that point. Ms. Ball.
Okay, I've done my research, and in the 1980s, when this when we came back into the flood insurance thing. And if you remember, when Tima was here, Joe was listed as our floodplain administrator. All right, in the 80s, when Delmar took this in his office, the deal was the EMA director was to do the legwork. The property assessor's office did the paperwork. Now, somewhere down the line, it's been supplemented. Because the budgets have increased and so on and so forth. You know, Joe came in and he presented to us and he actually returned some money to our budget. Therefore, the other side of this come from Macy's office because of the paperwork side. Now, down the years, it has been supplemented somewhere. It's not a line item on here by no means.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I do want to say, when we had a vote previously, I did vote against a motion as far as Macy in that position. I didn't feel like at the time, and I won't say I'm wrong, I didn't agree at the time that this flood administrator job was full-time. I just had in my head on a normal day when we didn't have all this other stuff going on, flood administrator would not be full-time. Well, I've had enough people correct me, so I stand corrected. But I did think we could, at the time, I did think, and I talked to a few people, I did think we could combine a couple of positions into one. Maybe it won't ever happen, but that was why I voted no. And I think I told Macy that at the time.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Vassar.
I have a question for Mr. Mayor, please. On this floodplain coordinator, could you give us an update? Is it a full-time position, sir?
Yeah, we've hired a full-time employee to fill that position. She started July 1st and is doing a great job. Does that answer your question, Commissioner?
Well, it does answer my question, but I just wondered, is she overwhelmed with work right now, sir?
It's really hard to say right now because she's still training, so she hasn't had a chance to really get her legs under her, but she is performing extremely well. So as far as the level of workload, I can't really haven't been able to judge that accurately as of yet because, as I said, she is still learning the job. She's been in it for about 3 weeks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Step.
I'd like to elaborate on what Commissioner Ball has said.
What she was saying about Joe being listed as the floodplain administrator, I spoke with Jeremy on multiple occasions since he actually requested that I come speak at a conference that I'm not going to be able to attend, but he said he misspoke on that. Joe's not listed, nor has been listed as the floodplain administrator for Cocke County. He is listed on Parrotsville's because the city of Parrotsville is not appointed a floodplain administrator. I don't think they realize that they need to do that because a section of city limits in Parrotsville is in the floodplain. So that's something that does need to be addressed, but Joe is not, nor has he been listed as floodplain administrator. I have printouts from the team website back in the office. I'd be happy to show you that I printed when all of this began before Jeremy was able to come here and speak. So, and then to another note on that, nothing from our office in the 11 years that I've been here has ever been supplemented for floodplain administration.
Any other questions or comments?
Joe Bob and Tim have asked the same question twice, and have not been an answer. Has someone needs to elaborate on it. If she's not been supplemented, and the money's being taken away, someone needs to answer those questions before we vote on this.
Heather, can you speak to that? Has she ever been supplemented for that 16,000?
Not to my knowledge has there been specific to the floodplain, but I don't know anything about the 80s stuff, when it first started.
I know it wasn't in 96
Okay.
when I came on board.
It wasn't?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Who approved the hire for a full-time, for a full-time flood administrator? I don't remember voting on that.
An employee of the mayor's office. They're an employee of the mayor.
And basically, the state said we needed one.
We're mandated to have one. Ms. Reed expressed that as of July 1st, she was no longer going to be willing to fill that role. We had to have one by the state, and so we went ahead and fulfilled the state regulation by hiring a full-time person. And we consulted with the county attorney before doing so, so everything was done correctly.
Any other questions? If not, we're going to vote. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Wall.
Can your budget, without the 16,000, can you pay this lady to do her job?
Do you want to answer that, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
We can, just take a, that would, $16,000 would come out of, most likely come out of the fund balance for the county. So we would have enough to pay this individual, but the fund balance, the anticipated fund balance for the county would go down by 16,000.
And we're trying to take that fund balance up, correct?
We always try to keep the fund balances correct.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? All right, again, this will be, we'll be voting on the motion put forward as it currently stands. And if it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, there can be amendments afterwards. But we do need to leave here tonight with a budget, okay? All right, that being said, let's have a roll call, please.
Andy Ford,
No.
Bill Miller,
No.
Gayla Blazer,
No.
Jason McMahon,
No.
Norman Smith,
No.
Tracy Stepp,
No.
Jonathan Templin,
No.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock,
No.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdoff,
No.
Tim Lehman,
No.
Billy Hudson.
No, ma'am.
All right, at this point, I'll entertain any motions to adjust it.
I would like, this doesn't have anything to do with the assessor's office, but I think the rate should be less than what it is, the tax rate. Most people's property tax doubled, at least doubled, and the property, the tax rate should be halved, in my opinion, of what it was. Which would bring it to 1.25.
Maybe you want to explain that?
Good try. So,
Sorry.
no, it's fine. So the property values have, in some cases, doubled, more than doubled, your property value. But the state has come in and after the property assessor's office has finished with all of their assessing, came back and said, okay, well, based on your new values, we're gonna bring your tax rate back down to an even number. So we're getting the same revenue with $1.49 that we were getting with the $2.56 from before. So if we come down below that, which we can, we don't have to stay with certified tax rate, but we will have to start looking at where we're going to take that money from.
Now, we just want to remind everybody, we have not had a tax increase. This will be our third budget as a CLB. There's been no tax increases. What's the inflation rate done in the last 3 years? I think it's pretty amazing that we've been able to do so without a tax increase, especially this year, given the extra costs we've had. And I'm looking at things that have not, how many of us paid the same thing for groceries we did 3 years ago? Exactly. So to the commissioner's question about why is everything going up? Well, because everything's going up. You got fuel, insurance, vehicles, equipment, services, food for the inmates. Everything is seeing an increase, and yet we've been able to absorb that because we have cut down to the bone. And the commissioners who are on the budget committee, again, I want to thank you all for your service. And we've seen that everything is cut down to the max on this. So to maintain flat taxes and while building a growing local economy that is able to make up that difference in those increases, I think is a great accomplishment for us all.
Well, when my expenses go up, I have to cut something else in my budget. That's how it works. With government, it doesn't seem to apply though. It's like, so expenses go up, well, we're just gonna stick it to the taxpayers.
If you don't raise taxes, who are you sticking it to?
Taxes, if you got more money coming in, it's taxes from somewhere. That's just the bottom line. Somebody's paying them.
I sit on the budget committee for 13 years, chaired it a lot of the years. And when you go through there and you get to look and, I'll say this, when it comes budget time, unless you're sitting there 3 days a week for about 2 or 3 months working on it, and then you want to come in and say, what do you mean doing this or that? I have a hard time with that.
Commissioner Ford, how many budget meetings did you attend this year?
I'm not on the budget committee.
How many did you do? It's a public meeting. How many did you attend?
None.
None? I'm just asking.
So Heather, what you're saying is, even though the assessments triple, double, whatever, people are gonna pay about the same amount of property tax. So there's really not a tax increase.
Within,
Well, let me say this, and I was explaining it, the tax rate's set. If your new assessment is 200% higher, and somebody else, or 100% higher, and somebody else is at 75% higher, the ones at 75% won't pay as much as the one that's 100%. But that's that way every year. I mean, that's a normal year. Some people's taxes will go up, and if their assessment's lower, it'll go down. Now, we all know the assessments hardly ever go down, especially with what we're talking about, you know, the people that's coming in and paying these outrageous prices for this property. It's driving up property prices for everybody. To this Ms. Boyd's point down here, and if we don't get a handle on some of this, we're going to drive all of these farmers and all these other people out of business if we're not careful. And that's one reason, and I'm going to throw it in here, that this county needed zoning to help control some of that growth. But anyway, all right. I'm looking for a motion. Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we add that 16,000 back to Mason's.
Just to the places it came from.
Yes.
And then pass the budget as the rest of it is written. All right, we have a motion from Galen. We have a second from Mr. Stepp. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please. Whoa, go ahead, sir.
So our general budget, our general fund was at, what was that number?
385.
And what's our goal that we want to keep it at?
Well, we passed a resolution that we'd keep it above 200,000.
Okay.
We're currently sitting at $382,886. And as the chairman said, resolution in place now is over $200,000. The budget committee was working on a goal of trying to slowly increase us because as we have all seen from this last year, if you don't have money set aside and unexpected things happen, you don't have money to pay for anything.
So we're still in good position.
Anybody else have any questions?
I got here, like, bear with me, basic. What will happen in your office without that 16,000?
Oh gosh, I was afraid one of you guys that, I mean, it's a trickle effect, it's domino effect. I got a bill from the comptroller's office the other day for postage for $15,000, followed by a letter telling me that postage is going up. I got a letter from TMA 2 weeks ago, tax management audits. They're the company that does our large account audits, they're going up on prices as well. I was going to be doing good to survive with the budget that I presented. It was bare minimum. So, I mean, we can go back to paper mapping and do away with GIS and not pay the software fee for that. I mean, there's things that I can cut, but it's going to take us back a decade to do it.
That's a good reason for question why the budget is going up. That's a perfect example.
Any other questions?
I have a quick question. What about the UT Ag person, the situation there? What's going on with that? Anybody know?
My understanding that was a state decision.
Federal, actually, yeah,
But the state actually decided what position got cut.
Right. Yeah, that wasn't county funding, that was a state grant that was sought. And we just found out about it.
That's correct. That the state chose which one that would be.
Yeah, and you said that's a statewide problem, too.
Yeah, all 95 counties are listed in 10 seconds.
That's correct.
The county did not supplement that position whatsoever.
You have a question?
Sorry, does the sheriff cars, are we still under the same program as far as the way they rotate out and the way we bring them back in? New ones. Can you answer that?
We're good.
I just want to make sure.
There was 300,000 that's assigned for the sheriff's department cars this year. They were cut to help the unassigned fund balance for the county. Just to cover you, to take care of the budget.
I want to thank the sheriff. He's been incredibly great to work with the whole time.
I'm saying I'm gonna ask for one. I just got one got T-bone and told.
I want to make sure we have there.
Mr. Hudson?
I've got a comment, but I'll wait till after we vote this time.
All right.
It's about another matter.
All right, we have a motion to add the 16,000 back, to approve this budget. Roll call, please.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith,
Yes.
Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Nope.
Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
No.
Rick Vassar,
No, ma'am.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman,
Yes.
Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
11-3, sir.
All right, the motion passes. Do I have, motion to approve the following tax rate and waive the reading? General fund, 69 cents and 38 10,000. Solid waste and sanitation fund, 19 cents and 25 10,000. Industrial and economic development fund, 2 cents and 20 10,000. Highway and Public Works Fund, 18 cents and 80 10,000. General Purpose School Fund, 20 cents and 37 10,000. School Transportation Fund, 11 cents and 80 10,000. General Debt Service Fund, 2 cents and 12 10,000. And General Capital Projects Fund, 6 cents and 1 10,000. So I have a motion to approve. That makes the tax rate of 149.93. I have a motion by Gayla Blazer, and a second by Mr. Hudson. Any questions? If not, roll call, please.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith,
Yes.
Tracy Stepp,
Yes.
Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman,
Yes.
Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Hudson, you had a comment?
It's something to do with the meeting, last week's meeting, the general, and it's about the rent we're paying for these buildings from the school system. And I'll be the first to say, I voted for that last week, but this just doesn't, it's been eating at me all weekend. While we're paying rent to the county, another county entity, in as bad a shape as we're in right now, what all this county's been going through, and while we're having to rent a building from another county entity, it just doesn't make sense to me. $15,000 a year.
I agree with that.
I mean, I don't understand, and it's nothing to do with the school system. Manny Moore and Casey both are really good friends of mine. But I don't understand why we're having to pay rent. I mean, we're in a tough spot right now. The sheriff's department needs a place for their detectives, and Chalet's office needs a place for the records that just got destroyed, and he's got to go through 9 tractor-trailer loads of records, and we're having to pay rent. And I just don't get that. I mean, I could understand if it was, we was renting a building off Joe Lowe, but we're not. It's another county entity. And that's been eating at me all weekend. I'll admit to you, I voted for it myself in the last meeting, but it's been eating at me all weekend.
What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Are we required to pay a minimum?
They own the buildings. The school system owns the buildings. But morally, I don't think it's right that they're charging us rent. I'll be honest with you. I just don't think it's right.
So basically, the county owns the building, right?
No, the school system owns the building. And I don't know. I've talked to Heather about this afternoon, and it's just been eating me all weekend, and I just don't think it's right, Mr. Chairman.
Well, when that was purchased, did we not purchase part of that?
Yes.
We own the Eagles part.
The Eagles, the old Eagles, but it's not satisfactory to do anything with?
Not in its current state.
But what about the $600 a month, or $1,200? Did we not take that money and maybe put that toward fixing that? I mean, you think about, yeah, what would 15? I don't know what it would do, but.
I just don't morally think that's right.
It
We're
ain't
charging
right.
rent.
It should, the 600 per each, it's been better.
Where does that $15,000 go? Does anybody know that?
Goes to the school system.
They had, I don't know, I don't know what, at this point, what you'd like for the board to do.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
I just don't think it's morally right.
I think we need to ask the school system to waive the rental on it, to be honest.
I mean, we'll maintain the building if that's what it takes. I mean, CJ, is that the deal? They're maintaining the building, or we maintaining the building?
From my gathering, the slot that we rented, I think ours 600, I think that we fell under last year's contract. And they waived the whole year when the flood hit. But it's to maintain, you know, if the lights go out in the building, they come in and fix it. If the hot water heater goes out, they fix that. Air conditioning unit went out, they come in and replace that. That's on our part. And they have put in a new hot water heater, they put in a new air conditioning unit and other things like that. And they bought all the paint, and I think we had them make later on our next paint building. But that was from my understanding, that $600 a month would be to help offset any kind of maintenance work that happened, probably for the whole facility. But specifically, if we had something tear up, they would fix that. That's from my understanding.
Does that cover utilities as well?
That does not cover utilities. No, we have to pay the electric bill, gas bill, whatever else may be, it does not cover light.
I'm not trying to open up a can of worms. I don't know, that's just been eating me all week.
I would.
We're supposed to talk about it in public meetings, that's why
Please do. I would suggest maybe having a meeting with Casey or Manny.
Is there a way we could get a handle on what it would take to get that, what we own, operational?
We've got an
We
estimate.
got an estimate.
What's the estimate?
Remember what it is?
It's about $7 million.
Which is more than we paid for the bill.
Yeah, we paid $1 million for the building.
But we are still talking to the state. We put in a request for the state, the governor's relief fund. And all the counties, essentially all the counties got turned down. I wish they had said something to all the counties beforehand, but they said, but if there's anything that's potentially eligible for FEMA reimbursement, they didn't give the money for it. But we told them, well, we're not using, it's not a FEMA project for us. All of ours is going to jail. And they said, yeah, but it could potentially become one, so we can't fund it right now. So once, again, that's another reason why to get this resolved with FEMA, to get these projects finalized and ongoing, because it's tying up, it's starting to have a ripple effect and tie other stuff up.
So is there a possibility this rent money will be reimbursed by FEMA or the sheriff's department? And
It can for a certain length of time,
Yeah,
3 years.
There's a possibility, that it could. I don't remember the time.
good records.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Before we adjourn right quick, of course, we have chairman elections coming up in September. I had no intention of seeking that chairmanship again, and there's a lot going on. So as of tonight, I hereby resign as chairman of the CLB. I'll still serve the 3rd District, but I will not be chairman of this board. So I would suggest that you put somebody on the agenda next week or next month to get you another chairman. Anything else? Do I have a motion? Yes.
I'd like to say, for one, add this 16,000 back to Macy. I think we need to do something to help the UT. Sarah work and in that position.
Could we confront the mayor or Heather about that? I was on the, and thank you for letting me speak. I was on that budget committee, and I seen what we had to cut. And it it was a tough job. It was really a tough job for everybody. And it touched my heart when we had to cut a lot of budgets, or cut a lot of positions. And that was one that I really hated to cut. So if we are going to allow the 16,000 to go back into Miss Reed's, then I make a motion that we find the $30,000 to go back into the, wasn't it, Mr. Mayor, you can help me out on that?
I think it's the lowest,
The lady.
38,000.
Yes.
I'm not so sure at this point, we've already passed the budget. I think at this point, that's gonna have to be something that Heather will have to look at, Mr. Vassar, and then come back with us to try to find that funding at the next meeting.
There is, well, the good news is September 1st is when that will run out, so we have the August budget meeting, which then could carry over to the August CLB meeting.
Yeah, let her look and see where she's.
Okay, yes.
Okay, all right, anything else? It's been a pleasure serving you, I appreciate y'all. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.